So guys, today back on a video on the channel. Today we're here for a massive game in the Premier League, one that I always look out for. It's Manchester United at home. The big game. Newcastle have got some sort of rivalry with Manchester United. I don't know if we've created it, they've created it, but there's always something there between me, and I love this fixture at home. It's one of them that you do look out for. Obviously, Champions League this week, both teams are featured and both teams picked up a draw, but we'll go through everything in this video. We'll look at Man United, look at Newcastle, and how this game should pan out on Saturday night. 8 o'clock kick off on a Saturday, so the vlog will be out a lot later than usual, but it's not my fault. It's on TNT Sports, so it is what it is. If you could leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It wouldn't hurt if you could do so. Anyways, lads, let's get to it now, and let's start off by looking at Manchester United. So then, Manchester United got a disappointing result in the Champions League last night. I'm recording this on the Thursday. This video's getting uploaded straight away. Yesterday drew 3-3 to Galatasaray, and arguably their Champions League hopes are not completely over, but they are a very slim chance of going through in the Champions League. Fourth in the group, 1 point behind second and third. If either Copenhagen or Galatasaray win, Manchester United will not go through, depending on their result. And obviously they have got Bayern Munich, arguably the best team in the world at the minute. Will they play an unbelievable team? I think Thomas Tuchel still has that bit of Chelsea in him, so I can see him being like, well, I want to beat Manchester United, so I can see him playing a good team and could get something absolutely at Old Trafford. But in the Premier League, as of late, Manchester United have been on some good form. Obviously, we did play them in the Cup, 3-0 win, absolutely played them off the park with a very, very thin squad we had. But in the Premier League, they've had some good results as of late, as I mentioned just before. 2-1 win against Brentford, 2-1 win against Sheffield United, a 3-0 defeat against Man City, and then they beat Fulham 1-0, beat Luton 1-0, and then beat Everton 3-0. So that's 3 clean sheets in a row for Onana in the Premier League. But what was he doing for that in that Galatasaray game? And even the Newcastle game, he was very poor. So that is one, I wouldn't say positive, but a bit of outcome where if we get a chance to strike the ball or get a chance on goal. Onana's not the greatest keeper with his hands. He's brilliant with his feet. If we could have his ability with Nick Pope's saving and catching the ball and do what a keeper needs to do, it would be an unbelievable keeper, probably the best in the world. But as of late, as I mentioned, Manchester United in very good form. I was watching that 3-0 win against Everton and obviously got an actual with an unbelievable goal. I can see their team not really changing from that game versus Galatasaray, looking at their starting 11. In goal, Onana, who obviously had a very poor game. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, who both got assists in that game, and Luke Shaw being back for them is absolutely massive. He has been missed massively. Obviously, they've had Dalot, they've had Lindelof in left back. They've had so many different variations in that left back place. Finally got Luke Shaw back. He will start. In centre back, they've had Harry Maguire and Lindelof starting. Don't understand why Rafael Varane's not playing. He's on the bench. I don't know if he's injured. Obviously, Man United have got a lot of injuries at the minute, not as many as us, but don't know why he's not starting. In the midfield, Amrabat and Scott McTominay, I can see both of them starting together. Manu was very good against Everton, so maybe he gets brought in again in the Premier League, but coming to St James's Park would be a tough test and a tough ask for him. And then in the forward line, Bruno Fernandes on the cam, Anthony on the right, Garnacho, who's on fine form at the minute, and then Rasmus Højlund up top. Look like the bench, not the strongest from that Galatasaray. Obviously, they brought Manu on, they brought Tony Martial on, and then Dalot and Pelestri. Apart from that, the bench looks very weakened, which is a positive for us. Obviously, Newcastle have had a lot of injuries, same with Manchester United, so it's actually nice for once that we're going to be playing a team that's got a thin squad. Arguably, still a very good squad, but I think maybe Anthony might get dropped. Who knows? Who knows with Manchester United? Obviously, Ten Hag was actually banned from the touchline. It would have been better if he was banned for the Newcastle game, but he was banned against Everton. And one thing as well to note from Manchester United, that's 3 away games on the spin. That can affect you. Obviously, they had Everton away, then Galatasaray away, then Newcastle away. 3 of arguably the most loudest stadiums in Europe. It's obviously Manchester United are a big team and whatnot, and they've got the players with a lot of experience, but playing in three stadiums like that, could that affect them? It's all a mental game going into this one. A top 7 clash. I think we're sitting 7th at the minute, but let's speak about the two then. So then, obviously Newcastle, as we all know, that Tuesday night game against PSG. Still thinking about it, still not really over it, but we're not going to be like Arsenal fans and in 3 weeks after the decision's made and still go on about it. I can guarantee you before the Man United game, most fans would have forgot about that PSG decision, and we've got a massive test yet again on Saturday. Tough one. It is. Manchester United at home is always a tight game at St James's Park. Always a 1-0 or not many goals in it. It's been very rare when goals have been flying in over the years against Manchester United at St James's, but obviously 3-0 win in the cup with a very thin squad. Dubravka, Livermore Hall, and then obviously Kraft and Dummett. And if we can beat Man United with that team, considering they had a quite similar team, obviously there wasn't that team, but they still had some big players playing, and I don't see why not. We can't get this win. We are in unbelievable form at home in the Premier League. A lot of clean sheets as of late, and we've won every game at home so far this season, apart from Liverpool, which, looking at the league table, if we did beat Liverpool, we would be unbeaten at home, won every game, and then sat 3rd, which is such a shame. But, well, 4th after the Aston Villa win on against Spurs, but we'll be sitting in a much better position, only 4 points off top of the league, considering we've lost 4 games this season. But anywho, a lot of games coming up as well, which I think people are maybe forgetting a little bit. Everton away on Thursday night next week. That's a big game, and gotta be focused for games like that. Then Spurs away on the Sunday night. Like I mentioned with Man United before, how they've had 3 away games on the spin. We've got 2 on the spin, and then a Champions League game during the week where we've got to win, which is if we want to continue in Europe. But going into the actual game itself, there's been no real injury update apart from a little one by Sven Botman. It looks like he will not need knee surgery, which is absolutely massive, and he's doing individual training, so I can maybe see him come back early January, which is massive. Obviously we are heading into December now, the Christmas period, big games coming up. One thing I've got to note with Newcastle, we've got a very good run of games after this tough run. After AC Milan, we've got 3 games where we're playing 15th and under. Forest, Fulham and Luton. 3 games there where you've got to pick up 9 points if we are still trying to go for Champions League this season. So even if we did get beat by Man United, it might not look as bad considering if we do pick up them points against the bad teams, but still a massive game. Big one always at St James's against Manchester United. If I've got to give a prediction, as of now, will their head still be down by Galatasaray? I think so. Under lights at St James's is always nice. Really get the atmosphere happy, but it will be on a Saturday as well, obviously, as we all know. So I'm guessing people will be drinking out during the day. People will be pissed. Let's get the stadium fucking rocking. If I've got to give a prediction, 3-1 Newcastle. Let's be nice and positive. Might concede, but who knows. 3-1, even though I did say it before, we don't score many goals, or there's not many goals in this fixture at St James's. 3-1. Let's go for it, boys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, boys. Massive one on Saturday. The vlog will be out later on in the evening, and I'll try to do a player ratings depending on what time I get in and how cold it is. It'll be a fucking cold one on Saturday night, but see you in the next one, boys. Predict a team out tomorrow. Will any players be back? I'll see you all in the next one.